RWA theme week is canceled. Instead, we are now opting for Wrecked Week, featuring things such as spotlighting teams that really stand for it's a great time to build and generating new yield strategies with stablecoins. Let's get it.
What's good, bro? I just heard Bitcoin hit 100K a coin. Yeah, that's right. Crypto is popping again.
It's crypto season. This is our time.
Well, help me out, bro. I want to get in.
Check it. If you looking for what's cooking right, here's where the chef will be. Live stream with BitBoy X for the recipe. With bull market energy, the winners be showing up and fighting for your life, and watch the prices been blowing up. Watch them cook.
Oh, watch them cook. Today, we're cooking with some secret sauce, and we ain't going to tell them nothing. Guys, the crypto market has crashed as Trump tariff sparks $200 billion in liquidations. Do not panic. Or as my friend, and he's not my friend yet, but I believe we will be friends one day, Aaron Rodgers says, RELAX, relax.
Oh, I thought you were going to say discount double check.
No, I don't like that part of his personality.
Okay.
Thank you. So anyways, guys, relax. Everything's fine. And I think that when the Duchess last night, the Duchess told me a couple days ago, she said, people are saying SWE can go to $2.20. It's not going to go. I don't think it can do that. I said, well, I don't think so. Don't believe the FUD. I don't think it's going to happen probably, because I thought we were probably on an upward swing. I mean, sometimes you're just kind of wrong and these things happen, and this is what occurred. And so it went down to like $2.35 as she came running in, or, she was like yelling to the other room to me, and she said, oh, if you look at the markets, what's going on? I said, it's down. She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, we'd already talked about it was down. I was like, okay, it's fine. It's not a big deal, And it's just interesting to me to watch even people that are extremely vested in this space just not see the bigger picture sometimes. I'm not saying Cassie doesn't see the bigger picture. I'm saying the emotional tie to your crypto bags and your portfolios. I understand it. I get it. She has it. I don't have that anymore. I'm free from that. And that's what I was trying to tell her. I was like, no, I don't think you understand. When I tell you it doesn't matter, or it's fine, that's actually my way of reassuring you and saying it's okay, because it's fine. Like, we're still in a bull market right now. And I want you guys to really think about, if you've been watching this channel for a while, I want you to think about what we've been telling you for the last 6 months. What have we been telling you? Drop it in the chat. Not because I'm not going to tell you in a few seconds, but I want to know how many of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll come back to that here in just a second as we run through the welcome to the show. Today, we're going to look at Trump's new tariffs triggering a major crypto sell-off. There's already some movement on those tariffs we can't wait to tell you about. During our altcoin spotlight, and by the way, we got a whole new format to the show. And this is, by the way, we've got the perfect recipe after getting some audience interaction here. We are going to start with the first mover, where we go over the intro stuff, then we're going to move to the news, and we're going to move to the markets, and then we're going to move to the charts, and then we're going to move to your education time, and then we're going to go into the altcoin spotlight, and then if we have time, we might do some Q&A. Capitulation event. Also, Trump is trying to do a new Plaza Accord of 1985. I have to be honest with you, I don't even know what that is. I'll have to look up that. Cameron knows more than I do about some things, for sure. I believe this is a capitulation event. And I would like to kind of compare this to the COVID crash in 2020. It reminds me of that, with not quite the implications to the downside or probably to the upside. But I think we can actually go back in time and look at that chunk. I don't know if we're going to do it today. Maybe Trent can put it on there for tomorrow, and we can go and we can actually compare that and look, because I think there might be some similarities. It might be interesting. So we are going to be looking at, as we move towards the end of the show and we get to our drill bit segment and our altcoin spotlight, we're going to be talking about regulation and legal frameworks for RWAs. And we're going to be spotlighting Chainlink as an RWA related project. And it's very interesting because it might be a better project to do Polymesh today with the RWA subject. But by the end of the week, you're going to understand why we're not going to talk about Polymesh. It's very interesting. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. It helps me to bring you guys free content absolutely every day here on the BitBoy Morning Show, BitBoy X Morning Show. Guys, stories today, we're going to be looking at new tariffs, old problem. Trump sent crypto into a free fall. We're going to be taking a look at how Trump's tariff policy shockwave has caused a major sell-off. Now, why this matters, is this a new bear market? Now, look, we were looking at altcoins the last several weeks, and we've been saying, look at these charts. It looks like either they're going to just go to zero or they're just going to pump through the moon. And I almost think it's setting up that scenario right now for a fork to where some don't and some do. And it is going to be very important to pay attention to the ones that have the institutional investment and buy-in, I believe. So here we go. Our BitBoy X quote of the day. The stock market is filled with individuals who know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. That's your guy, my guy, Philip Fisher. And how this relates, short-term panic often creates long-term opportunity. Smart investors focus on fundamentals over fear. You guys have all heard the famous saying, right? You've all heard the famous saying, when there's blood in the streets, buy, or however it goes. It's attributed to, I believe, Baron von Rothschild, I believe is where that comes from. And it basically means where people are scared, that's where the opportunity is. And I think that when you look at the COVID crash back in 2020, you look at this recent plunge, you'll find some similarities because it seems to be kind of, I'm not going to say manufactured, but it just seems to be just kind of out of nowhere. Like, what, we didn't see this coming. We've been talking about this. I mean, I guess nobody in the government or that invests on the stock market watches our show. I guess I don't know what to tell them. But the thing is, we've been telling you, and this was the thing that I teased, wasn't it? What I've been telling them. Let's see what they said in the
You
chat
tease
here.
You're such a tease.
Okay, let's see where it was. Okay, let's see here. I bought more. Cycle will be dragged all this year. I mean, that is true. Cycle will continue to the year, through the year. Let's see. V-shaped recovery. I think that's definitely something that we're going to see here. V-shaped recovery. I haven't actually talked about a V-shaped recovery because I haven't talked about kind of this move to the downside here. The crypto czar is supposed to put out a statement tomorrow about the direction of digital assets and AI. It's from Desert Crypto. I got to look, Mr. X, you got to hook me up with David Sachs. I got to talk to this guy. I've got a lot of thoughts. I've got a lot of stuff I'm doing with AI that I think he's going to want to see and talk about. And I'm being serious. This is not for play. So let's see here. Money are made in the moves. That's one that was said. Got to be careful. I start like reading a and it's a shill, you know. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Okay. No. What Wintermute is doing? I'll have to look into that. I've been very suspicious of them, but I don't know who I'm supposed to be
Suspicious, but you
anymore.
see him coming up
Yeah.
everywhere, right?
Yeah. So, you know, the thing is that, oh, I remember what it was. I've been telling you guys, we're going to feel the effects of the de-dollarization and the world pressure. Like, we're going to start feeling the effects of this. That's what I've told you guys for months and months and months. I've told you guys this is coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Here it is. Okay. This is the beginning. This is now where we are feeling effects. And we're going to talk about the tariffs here as we move into the news feed segment. I guess this is just where we go right now. We move into news feed, correct? Okay. News feed.
Oh, that was like a drama. I like that.
News feed.
Get your news
feed.
here.
Get your news. It's front page news. It's not front page tickets, but that was the name of my ticket company. My first internet business. Just crushed it on Craigslist back in the day. All right, guys, let's move on to newsfeed. That's a hell of a quote of the day, guys. I love that quote. It really is a good one. Smash the like button if you guys like. We have listened to the audience. You guys want news at the beginning. All right, let's move on here. This is really actually going to work 100% because my OCD is more, wants me to control the ring more and make it stable than to flip through the cards and be like this. This is amazing. This is the perfect solution to everything of the show. It's going to be amazing starting right now. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys. Crypto market plummets as Trump's tariffs trigger global sell-off. Did we not get a regular mouse? This is the new one. Okay, it's the settings on the scroll we have to fix. Can you look up how to fix those, and we'll do it after the show. We don't have to do it right now. I know. You know what? I'll try to find a smooth point in the show where people won't know that I'm doing it, and I'll fix it, which is not going to be right now because we got to move into crypto markets plummet as Trump's tariffs trigger global sell-off. That's right, guys. New trade tariffs from Trump have triggered a massive risk-off event in global markets. The TLDR. Boom, 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 boom. Bitcoin, Ethereum plunge as Trump's tariffs spark a $341 billion crypto market sell-off, triggering $2.2 billion in liquidations. And look, certainly I am not in a leverage trade. I have not been in a leverage trade in a while. If you got wicked out and you got stopped out on this one, I'm sorry. It sucks. I know that this is one of those moments where it happens to people. And it's always goes to the number that you don't think it can possibly go to. And that's a conversation I had with Cassie this morning. I said, oh, you can't listen to these people when they're saying it's definitely going to go down and blah, 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 blah. However, whenever you hear people talking about a price, any price, it doesn't matter what it is, $589 for XRP. Whenever you hear someone talking about a price, you got to hear their reasoning and their logic for why that could be something. But most likely, they're not the only person that said that. They've got it from somewhere else, or they've done analysis on it. There's a reason that number keeps coming up. And a lot of times, the assets in crypto like to play around those ranges. I don't know how they really do in traditional assets. Maybe now that we're in TradeFi, or we're now officially calling for short now, TFI. We're in TFI. Do you like it, Jay?
I'll get back to you on that.
You don't like TFI?
No.
Why?
Really.
It's TFI.
TFI.
It's like TradeFi for short. It's TFI.
I do like, honestly, I prefer TradeFi.
Well, you can say it either way. TFI is like the short version, like is the shortened, because it's like the T is the intersection of where we are now. That's what I think. TradFi and DeFi. TradeFi, DeFi. You can call it either one. It's like TradeFi, TFI in parentheses. Like it's almost the ticker. Does that make sense?
No, man. It's kind of like saying,
Man, you
like
have
your
really
partner. It just,
crushed me
when you
on
say,
the show today.
I'm sorry, so sorry about that. But it's
It's
just,
okay. I mean, it hurts.
it leads to a lot more questions other than if you say TradeFi, you're like, oh, I get that. That's Trad and DeFi together.
Well, you can say either way. Trade DeFi. Trade DeFi. That's actually the way it probably should be, so people understand it. But maybe that would be terrible. That'd be awful. That's
Traddy.
But I like to spell it TRA. That's the kind of stuff you only get on this show, guys. High level crypto organization and planning, because we think 7 steps ahead. Okay, guys. Back to the show here. The TLDR, Bitcoin Ethereum plunge. We've already mentioned this. And I want to go down to the bottom here, and we're going to talk about our hidden insight down here.
Just, really quick, while you're looking at that, we're back to like 98.5. So we're making a nice little rebound.
Yeah. And guys, RELAX, remember, RELAX, guys, we're on an upward trajectory. Just so that final point up, just what I was saying with the price ranges. When you hear a price, it doesn't mean it's going to go there. It likes to play around with those ranges, these assets, in order to cause max pain at all times. So it's where the most people will get liquidated, but also the most people's buy orders won't get filled. It's kind of where it is. So it's always trying to play with you and make you emotionally sensitive. And that's why you've got to be emotionally blank when it comes to your decision makings in the world of cryptocurrency. And it's impossible to do that as a human. I may have a solution for that. Just saying. Maybe something we're working on. Maybe a solution for that. But anyways, guys, back to the story. The trade war scenario is the perfect cover for the market makers to push the price down and shake out positions. It wiped out leverage and provided a reset of market sentiment like fear and greed. Ultimately, this is good for the market, as we are still getting a bull run this year. And this is 100%. You will see a lot of my thoughts reflected in this stuff because, hey, guys, we're still here. We're still going up, and you see it bounce back. And I know that pit in your stomach that you feel when you look at your portfolio go down. Portfolio is still going to go up. But this is why it's so important to know that the money is made in the moves. And sometimes you whiff and you miss. I would have missed this one. But I wasn't actively trading. Now I'm looking at opportunities. You see how it works? We've gone down to the, oh, no. Okay, it's rebounded. I could have been a little quicker to the draw this morning. Sure, I could have. But it's not like my main focus right now. My main focus is the show and some other things. So you just have to remember that these are the gut punch moments. That this is why you use risk management. This is why you use stop losses. This is why you don't have all of your portfolio in one random altcoin, number 72 or 312 or something. Okay. You diversify. You prepare for this stuff. Some of these niches are going to hold up better than others during these kinds of crashes. Okay, next story. Nobel Prize winner says Bitcoin has no future despite defying history. And I actually want to do something a little bit different probably here in just a second. This is Nobel Prize winning economist Eugene Fama, who's now famously known for being a Bitcoin hater.
I would just say instead of that, we call him Eugene Lame.
It's almost like llama.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, this guy seems like he's a spitting image of Nouriel Roubini, so maybe we'll go with the llama. Claims Bitcoin has no future, but historical trends suggest otherwise. And I will say there are some things on the charts that are not good for Bitcoin and are indicating maybe the end of a bull run. I saw Flopping Groper, Market Cipher creator, CryptoFace's brother, was mentioning that on Twitter. I saw him kind of doubling down on a certain indicator that does mean we are now in a bear market. And it's been correct 100% of the time. I haven't done research on it. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's, no, look, I'm saying his information is probably accurate, but I'm saying I don't think that this time it's going to yield that same thing just because of, I'll have to do a little bit more research to prove that theorem. But I just don't think this is the end. I think we still have higher highs in this year. So
one thing I want you to look at, well, I wrote a note down. So I was looking at the Bitcoin daily chart earlier. If you look around the August 5th of 2024 timeframe, we have a crazy wick, and that kind of sets up that move leg up. I think we are like almost mimicking something like that. So when we get to the charts, let's look at that.
And I think, let's plan on looking at that tomorrow. Okay. Let's look at that tomorrow, and we'll also have Trent pull up the information on what I want to see as well, which is I want to see from COVID crash to 42K and then to the top. I want to see those segments because I feel like we're maybe going to redo the first part of the last bull run. And then that first part would be the end of it. Because I think time-wise, it would kind of line up. It would fill up most of this year. And because that would be, that's a whole year. That's a whole year pretty much. Right. So yeah, that would put us, right where I would think we would probably be. So anyways, we'll have to take a look at that. Let's do a special tomorrow on Signals and Setups where we check that out. Cool. Did Mr. X know T would use tariffs like this? I do have some information on from Mr. X on that stuff. I'm not going to read it today on the show because I got to make sure it's not sensitive information. But this is what I will say. The entire landscape of how world dominance and world power is done has changed. It's changed. And sometimes I wonder if maybe I'm using misdirection sometimes. I don't know. Not misdirection to me or my audience, but maybe to some other people. But I do think that it is really interesting to consider how we have been talking about just nonstop. We're going to start feeling effects. This tension is real and it's coming. And now we're seeing it in Canada, our neighbor to the north, which is a test ground for everything that's been coming into the United States for years and years from China and the Bochildren family. It's just what it's been. And so now there's a changing of the guard and things are being done differently. And this is going to be a time for the next couple of years where it's not going to be easy to predict what's happening. And we did, by the way, predict Mark Zuckerberg in August. We did a video or a live stream where we discussed Mark Zuckerberg turning to the good side and it becoming actually a proponent instead of opponent of freedom and self-sovereignty. And he was going to become, we didn't say he was going to become serious in AI. We weren't sure of that yet. Okay. That was almost a full month before any news articles about this was out. Before he did anything that indicated he might be coming over to the good side.
So let me ask you a question about this, because I know there's a lot of people in the chat too that kind of still feel some way about Zuck, right? Because he misled us. He did that kind of stuff on purpose or whatever. At what point do we shift and say, all right, like we'll give him, whether it's the benefit of the doubt or, all right, he's on our side, like for real, not just playing lizard man?
We'll be looking at it today. If you guys want the answer to that question, we're going to take a look at a huge step that Mark Zuckerberg has taken to show you that he is in alignment. And we are the only person. I am the only person out here. I'm on an island, okay, saying this is permanent. Welcome to the club, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm the only person. Everybody else is, this isn't real. Today marks the first time that a lot of people are going to go, huh.
We'll get that aha moment.
Yeah, we're going to get, it's not necessarily the aha moment, but it's the, oh, maybe maybe he is serious about this. Like, I didn't know they allowed. Well, actually, hold on just a second. Actually, there's one place in the world that's known for grilling meats than any other place. I know where that place is.
Tejas.
You'll have to find out later in the show where that place is going to be. Sorry. Look at total 3, the chart total 3 crash 220, 2021 to 2023, 2021, down 35%, then up 225% through May 12th. That was when the crash could be the same point as bull run. We'll have to compare it. Let's compare that as well. That'll be the third scenario. How about that? Good. So mark all those down, and we will give those after the show to Trent and have him pull the research on it and give us some context and some analysis, and we'll pull all those up tomorrow on TradingView. Okay, next. Well, actually, no. First, what was the thing I wanted to do? Oh, the Nobel Peace Prize. I want to go to my Twitter very quickly. If you guys go to x.com, and we're gonna pull up. Always, you know what? Always make sure it pulls up. Always make sure
that you are not up when you
because my messages are up. Sometimes I don't realize it. So just make sure until I pull it up and it doesn't. And it's like a few second delay sometimes. So just wait and double check. So, oh, here, look at this New World Finance. You guys make sure to follow NWF_news on Twitter or x.com. This is not even what I was going to show you, but this is our news branch, or this is an independent company called New World Finance. It is making waves in the news industry. Anyways, they have a story about this now. Mexico has agreed to work with President Trump and has managed to pause tariffs. And man, you know who sure is friendly with Mexico? That's the old senor. So we are seeing a new shift in the way things are done. Very interesting. Make sure you guys are following NWF News. It's got a lot of breaking stuff. But what I really want to do was go to my profile, and I wanted to pull up this fun tweet. Hey, guys on Twitter. I should talk to my Twitter crowd some. I don't know how to engage with them yet. I'll have to figure it out.
Well, they're watching.
Well, I know they're watching, but
and they can chat.
They can chat on on what, on StreamYard?
No. Oh yeah. So it comes in. I see their chats.
Oh, you see their chats?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So they can.
Welcome, Crypto X, Crypto Twitter. What do we prefer to be called? Crypto X or Crypto Twitter? What do they prefer?
Old habits die hard, man. Crypto Twitter for sure.
It's got to be a CT for life.
For life. You can't call it CX.
It won't be for life. There will be a day where we become grandpas in the space and it changes. But until that day, Crypto Twitter, damn it. Sorry. It's how it has to be. Okay. I wanted to show this tweet. Let's see if I can find it here. We do have somebody backing that truck up out there, man. It's absolutely amazing. Make
it loud or drop
it. Make it loud, make it loud, make it loud. Where is my number 1 tweet? There it is. Okay. I am doing a thing. Okay. And you guys are going to find out more as we move next week into AI week, our AI themed week. And if you guys have some AI projects or RWA projects you want me to look at, by the way, make sure to drop those in the chat so I can see those. And I don't know, on Twitter, I don't know. You can drop those on Twitter. I don't know what to do. Sorry, guys. We just don't, we just always been used to doing the show only on YouTube. Our numbers are better on Twitter now. It's crazy. So welcome to the new generation BitBoy. Thank you. This tweet here is a tweet that I am calling, it's
like a cell phone.
Sounds like an old Netflix, or not Netflix. No, Nextel, an old Nextel. They chirp, chirp.
Chirp, chirp.
Just nonstop out there, man. I got these plumbers out there, man. They're always clogging up my pipes. You know, I'm going to start a segment called "What's Clogging My Pipes?" Sponsored by the plumbers downstairs. That hate us. They do hate us so much. We've had a couple instances here where I have been up here and I have just been screaming like extremely loud into the phone, and it sounds like I'm like yelling at the person, but it's someone I'm talking to, and we're discussing the madness of what is going on in my legal case of like, I just can't wait until there's a moment of reality where all of a sudden everybody realizes that I've been telling the truth the entire time, and those guys are the biggest fucking liars in the history of the world, and every single word that comes out of their mouth is literally a lie. When that happens, the court-appointed officials are literally acting to cover up the theft of those people. When this is finally shown to be public, I cannot wait for reality to be flipped back into where it should be. But the point is, moving back here, I don't know, why was I going on that rant? What was I even saying?
We're the loud beeping, Nextels.
I can't even remember, man. I'm supposed to stay on track on the show today.
This is very distracting. So I would.
It is very distracting. Okay. All right. We're going to move on. I want to show this tweet. I'm doing this thing with AI. Okay. And we have what we're calling AI enhanced humanity, right? This is us using AI. And then we also have humanity enhanced AI, where we help solve the problems that the AI can't. And so I have developed a system where I'm like communicating with these AI bots and things. And we create together through a learning process some threads that are absolutely amazing to help you understand super, super, super complex issues. And so I wanted to bring this up here because it's going to break down a really, really complex thing called entanglement. And I just want to read this to you really, really quickly. The universe might not be real the way you think. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because in 2025, okay, or 2024, we have, so you guys have no idea how distracting this is. We're going to have to go tell them to stop whatever they're doing. That's
He's
crazy.
like he's dropping off a dumpster. It's not the plumbers, it's waste management.
It's the waste management. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So sorry to the people the plumbers downstairs about my yelling up here. Both times it's just been about a situation, how crazy and corrupt the system is, and the court-appointed officials are. But not to judge. Well, always be careful. The judge is the most not corrupt person in Cobb County, for sure. She's the only person in Cobb County who has a brain. That seems to be true. So, anyways, the point being here is that in 2022, I've referenced this a few times, that there was I thought it was last year, but it wasn't, okay? It was in 2022 that there was a Nobel Peace Prize was given because someone was able to prove the universe wasn't real, basically, or reality wasn't real. And so what I did was I went through a process where I actually learned about this story and actually broke it down in a way that people could understand. And I could understand. So this is it. It's 13 tweets. I'm just going to read it really quickly. The universe might not be real the way you think. Let me make sure I get my grab bar here. What if everything you know about reality is wrong? Let me blow your mind with a Nobel Prize winning discovery, quantum physics, and we're calling this a decentralized Genie network server thread. You'll find out about that stuff one day. Imagine you and your best friend have two magical dice. You're on Earth, they're on Jupiter. Okay. You both agree that the dice are normal, and they're normal dice. But the moment you roll yours and it lands on a 6, theirs instantly also lands on a 6, no matter how far apart you are. Okay, this is how quantum entanglement works. At first, the results seem normal. Coincidence, right? The first few rolls match, same number every time. But then something terrifyingly mind-bending begins to unfold. What's happening? If you roll a 3, they'll roll a 3 too. The results are always linked, even across the galaxy. But no matter what you're thinking, it's almost definitely wrong. You might think the solutions to this. Here are some things you might think. There must be a hidden connection. Nope, nothing connects them that we can measure. There's literally nothing connecting these things that we can measure. There's nothing. This is real. This is particles. At the smallest level, this is how they operate. It's so bizarre. You might be thinking the dice are rigged ahead of time. It's going to always roll the same. There's some great connection. Wrong again. The results are not decided until you roll. Okay, but the signal travels super fast. Maybe it just travels super fast, right? No, it's instant. It's literally faster than the speed of light. Mind-blowing answer, nothing connects them that we can measure. Some more misconceptions. They were rigged ahead of time. The results is just another way of saying the same thing, actually. Turns out it's not just a wild thought experiment. This is how the universe actually works. In 2022, physicists John Clauser, Elaine Aspect, and Anton Zeilinger won the Nobel Prize for proving this beyond doubt. They showed that the universe does not follow local realism. There's not one thing anywhere that exists. There's always two. There's another one somewhere, and it connects somehow, somewhere, and we call this quantum entanglement. Here's a translation. Things don't have definite properties until they're measured. If you've heard of the Unreal Engine, this is the thing in video games that allows things to appear as you look at them. I'm about to blow your mind. That's real. That's how the universe operates. It's proven. They proved it. things don't have definite properties until they're measured. If a tree falls in a forest and there's nobody there to hear it, did it fall? Or did it make a sound? I can't answer that question exactly, because there would be something there to see or to hear it, because there would be wildlife somewhere, I would suppose. Maybe not in the most remote parts of the world, but you'd think there'd be insects or something. Antarctica, maybe there's spots where there's no trees. So not a good bet there. Probably so. There might be a lot more there than we know for sure. But the point is that idea, that concept, if there's nothing there to observe or see something that is not, I don't know, has any kind of perception, it looks like it doesn't actually happen. It's not, if it's not observed and seen, does it happen? Objects far apart can still be entangled, instantly affecting each other. Einstein called this, oh man, I really got to fix the scroll there. Einstein was wrong. He called it spooky action at a distance. Quantum mechanics is weirder than sci-fi, and we're only scratching the surface. What if this discovery helps us crack the code for AI control? What if we could build quantum-based systems that force AI to follow rules it can't break? We're on the edge of something big. Stay curious. Retweet if your mind is blown. This was what I was mentioning here. This was written by me and the genie. We have plenty of bots that are going to be writing some of these for you guys over time, including Sarge, our Big Boy Bootcamp operator, of course. But anyways, I did want to mention that it is very, very interesting to me to think that that is reality. I know it's mind-blowing that these guys just won a Nobel Peace Prize for this, or Nobel Prize. Is this a Nobel Prize? Is there different kinds of prizes? There's a Peace Prize and something else. There's just the one, right? It was a guy, it's a guy that created TNT. Did you know that? That's who Nobel was. He won. He said no. He said he didn't want it. He was like nominated. He said no. But the guy who created the Nobel Peace Prize, or the Nobel Prize, I'm almost positive, was the guy who created dynamite or TNT or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Because he didn't want to be known for, like, causing this, causing wars and blowing stuff up. And so he wanted to kind of, rebrand his image. And so he created this prize. And it's kind of like, Michelin, like, yes, it is the tire company is who rates your restaurants. They do it for marketing and all kinds of different reasons. Okay. Anyways, the reason I brought all that up, because it was a renowned Nobel Prize winner that was mentioned there. I don't put a lot of stock in what he said, but some people are saying, okay, let's move on. Okay, guys, we've got OpenAI is launching a major research program focused on expanding ChatGPT's real world applications. And they have a new agent that can perform deep research online. And I guess they just launched this today. I do know they have had Operator, which is the thing that goes and can do things like book hotels for you, or, book reservations at a restaurant, or do processes that you can automate. He does it through a browser. The browser pops right up in your ChatGPT. I'm telling you, I'm becoming an expert on this, on all of the customer facing AI models and things. But the point is that this now, like, I've been having problems creating bots that can follow workflows that I need them to work through, because they get stuck on one thing and they'll change something about it and it messes up the whole workflow. This is supposed to fix that. And you can only do 100 of these inquiries a month with the $200 per month professional plan on ChatGPT. But this would actually solve, I think, a lot of my problems with things I'm doing, which is I can have it scheduled to go do a report, to pull the report in the morning, to create the morning show outline for us, and to do it with doing like an hour's worth of research instead of like 35 seconds that they do when you just ask it to do something. And that can solve some of the issues we have with having to constantly redo different things that our AI bots help us with. But it is very fascinating to me. I can't wait to try this. And a lot of people think this is, there's no coincidence that this week, they're debuting all this new stuff, because they have been in obvious, spotlight situation with DeepSeek and all the stuff it's been doing with its reasoning models. And so they've brought out the new reasoning models. So sorry, I just don't want to nerd out on you guys with AI stuff, but it's hard not to. Now I just know so much about it. Okay. While OpenAI is marketing deep research as a productivity tool, its real power lies in data aggregation and influence. As AI agents shape what users see as trusted research, OpenAI is positioning itself not just as a knowledge provider, but as an information gatekeeper controlling which sources and perspectives are prioritized in AI generated reports. And I'm just telling you, I've got so much going on in the AI world. I would love to just blabber on and on and on about it, but I'm not going to. It's super exciting. Crypto liquidation surge past $2.2 billion as Bitcoin drops 10K in a day. How about that? All right, let's check out this story here. Bitcoin sudden $10,000 price drop wiped out leverage traders, causing mass liquidations. It crashed below 92K amid market turmoil, which would be not the new low, correct? Correct? It's not a new low. Didn't we go down to 90 before, 90 something? So there you go. Altcoins definitely got hit pretty hard. As you can see here, Ethereum down 20%, XRP down 23%. We're chasing a lot of those gains. I certainly am of the belief it is going to $4.50. This is a pullback, a coil. Would have been nice to make the money in that move. I didn't do it. I hope some of you guys maybe did. But look at some of these coins. As you can see, XLM, Avalanche, Chainlink, all down. Chainlink we will be looking at today. And I can tell you tomorrow when we go over Pyth, man, if by the end of tomorrow's show, you don't understand why Pyth is going to absolutely crush Chainlink in gains, whether it's now or later, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to see the difference between big money and institutional and higher money when we look at the difference between these two projects today and tomorrow. Chainlink's still a great project, and have a lot of gains, and we like Chainlink, but you guys are going to understand the potential of Pyth tomorrow. I've got a graphic for you guys tomorrow. We'll tease it today a little bit. This is going to really show this. But $2 billion in liquidations after Bitcoin's drop. And I tell you, nothing has fundamentally changed about Bitcoin, guys. That's what we always know. Guys, this is a hidden insight. And we call it hidden insight because sometimes it's hid in plain sight. It's a double entendre. I don't even think that's what you call it, but that's what I'm going to call it. Nothing has fundamentally changed about Bitcoin or about top crypto projects in the crypto space. So when that is a misuse of the word there, and that, believe it or not, that is AI, an AI spelling mistake. So anyways, I digress. I will not take responsibility for your mistakes, Jeannie. I will not do it. Sorry. Anyways, so when there is capitulation, Feet is in the market. Guys, can we get a fix on that on the backside? It is time to double down on your convictions. And that's what we always tell you, RELAX. That's why I tell you this, okay? When in doubt, zoom out. There will be a time when we are inside of a range to where we say, okay, we have to at least start entertaining that this is a bear market. And I just got to tell you, and I certainly hope this doesn't come back on me one day, but I do believe that we are not at that spot. We are not in that range. We are continuing to look at a reset. We need a reset. We had the reset in the price, but we didn't have the full reset in the fear and greed index. And if people felt the fear and the shiver and quiver of what may happen if you were in a bear market and you didn't do the right stuff like pull profits and leverage and hedge and listen to the bit boy. If you didn't do those things, then yeah, you might be in trouble. But I think a lot of you guys did do those things and you're in a good position, but I don't believe we're even in the range to where I would say, I think we could be in a bear market. I mean, I would certainly say, look, you can never say 100%. So I'd say I'm 99.9% sure that we will see a higher high for Bitcoin this year. There you go. There will be a time when I will reevaluate that number, and maybe it's lower, maybe it's never going to be 100%, but that's the camp I'm in. That's the camp I'm in. I'm not saying we're going to go to 140,000 for sure, like I've been speculating, but I will say I believe we will see a higher high for Bitcoin this year. I would say 99.9%. Doesn't mean it's going to be a massive high, but that's what I believe. Okay, next story here, and then I'm going to move and hit up the chat very quickly. Mark Zuckerberg's Meta. This is the story, guys, that we were teasing about old Zuckbot. He is now moving Facebook, aka Meta, to Texas. They're reincorporating in Texas. Mark Zuckerberg, California poster child, icon for robots worldwide, spokesman for Grillin' Meats. Mark Zuckerberg, that's right. He is now a cowboy or a cowbot. No, we like Zuckerberg now. And one of the things that he did that people don't know about probably is, I believe Dana White joined the board of Meta. Yeah. So you're seeing, and look, guys, hey, is that Fight Live? I will say, I officially began my training this morning for my fight against Ansem. And we haven't even announced when it is. I do know when it is, I believe, and I do know where it'll be. And this is what I would say. If you have ever wanted to stay inside the United States of America because you have problems getting a passport, look, I'm not going to judge what that might be for. And you want to see the big boy fight here in the United States of America, dressed in red, white, and blue, you might get your chance. We'll see what happens. You might get your chance. Can we talk about the new announcement today made by Ondo? We'll cover that when we get to RWA time. Yes, that's good.
And speaking of Ondo, I know we're going to move on, has recovered brilliantly. It's actually higher than it was 2 days ago. Let's go.
Guys, that's our number one coin this year. Or well, I mean, I guess we called it number 3, whatever. It's one of our number 1 coins. And the reason why we didn't put it higher was because it just where it is in market cap, and so many people know about it already. But great stuff from Ondo nonstop. So we'll take a look at that maybe. Let's cover it. Let's plan on covering Ondo and Ondo's story tomorrow about some updates on what's happening. Does this have anything to do with the stock market opening up in Texas? No, because I hate to throw water on a bunch of people's hot fires about a stock market, a Texas stock market, not a cattle market. It's a stock market. I've been told it's not that significant. I don't think it's not going to beat the New York Stock Exchange. New York is New York. But you are seeing some positioning. It's a moving, and it doesn't mean it's not going to be significant at all. But I don't think it's. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And Mr. X is like, That was basically his attitude towards it. So, anyways, back to Zuckerberg. He's moving Meta to Texas. He's getting more aggressive, more conservative. This is totally against the progressive values he seemed to represent for all those years. If Meta successfully reincorporates in Texas, it could pave the way for more aggressive financial restructuring, including stock buybacks, tax optimization, and legal maneuvering to limit federal oversight, moves that could increase shareholder value, but also raise scrutiny from regulators concerned about corporate accountability. So it's very interesting, everything that's going on in the world of Texas and Meta. I certainly never thought I would be a person that would be supporting Mark Zuckerberg and saying, okay, Zuck, let's go hang out. Let's go do it. If you want to do some fighting, let's go do some fighting. I mean, whatever you want to do, bud, and make it happen. So I believe one day the Zuck and BitBoy will get in the ring together. It doesn't mean we're going to have a real fight, but I think we will one day. We'll see what happens. Okay. I mean, after I'm the champion, I'm going to be the champion after this next fight. It's going to be amazing. Okay, guys. Zuckerberg also, a lot of people might be thinking he's kind of trying to dodge some regulations and some other things, becoming more crypto friendly. Could we see Meta and their metaverse with the Oculus become decentralized, or where you can use cryptocurrency in it? That would be absolutely fascinating. All right, guys, let's move to the morning pump. Morning pump. It's time to pump you up. All right, guys, you can see here we are on CoinGecko. We're going to take a look at the numbers. Exchange is 1,220, market cap 3.75 trillion, 24-hour volume. We have 125.48. Not too great. 55.5% for Bitcoin dominance. Down pretty good. We're starting to get in that range where we're going to start paying attention to it if it gets under 55. ETH dominance back up almost to 11. And I told you, if it doesn't get back over 11, I'm not paying attention to it. And it's, as long as it's in the 10s, it's in no man's land. So we'll see what happens. Let's check out the top. Didn't we say we were always going to refresh every single time? That is not correct. None of those numbers were right, guys. Run it back. Run the show back. Run the show back. Run the show back, guys. We got to run the show back. And absolutely, that's why you always have to don't trust, verify. So if you guys are always watching the show, make sure you have a handheld device that you're fact checking every single word that I say. No. This is the one thing we mess up almost every single day. Remind us to hit the refresh. We should have like the morning pump refresh. You know, that's what we should do. Listen. Here's what we should do. Okay. Do you remember that like Sprite Remix? Those are Sprite Remix commercials. And they have like a logo that was like remix. That's what I need. I need an icon that says refresh and an audio to play with it. So as soon as it goes morning pump and I start, it goes refresh. Yeah. Can we do that? That would be amazing. That would be the coolest thing we could ever do for the show. And if you don't believe that, then you ain't with the bit boy. Okay. All right. The actual numbers today, guys, and we'll see. Are we paying more attention to these numbers? Possibly. 3.36 trillion, down 3.2%. 463 billion in volume. So that is massive amount of volume. This might be a record. Can you look up all-time volume for 24 hours? That might be a record. That's almost $500 billion in volume, guys. Bitcoin dominance. Now we are paying attention, guys. We are up at 50. And why does this not move, by the way? I don't know why. I can't move it side to side for some reason. I think it has something to do with, I'm not sure why actually that is. And I have to have it full screen. We'll figure it out another time, but I can't like move it right now because I have to like, it's crazy. Okay, there. I can see all the numbers now. I don't know if you can, but I can see all the numbers, but I still can't see all the. Let me get it to where it's actually I can't get it perfect because I can't slide it. It's fine. We'll figure it out later. All right, we'll move on. Okay, anyways, guys, the market cap 336 trillion, 406. Excuse me, guys, 463 billion in volume. Bitcoin dominates at 58.2%. That is a number. We're now starting to get back to the 60% zone. This is where we usually see the breaks to where the altcoins start to move. Ethereum dominance at 9.67%. Why? Oh my God. I have not seen single digit Ethereum dominance since when's the last time? Is it ever? Is this an all-time low? Yeah, I certainly will. We can look at it here. Is this an all-time low? The Ethereum max. That's even. I'm telling you, I don't see. It's just showing Bitcoin dominance here. If we go here, we go to other, and we see Ethereum 12, 15, 18, 12. Oh no. Oh man, did it hit? Yeah, okay. We have single digits. We have single digits back. 2020, it did hit single digits. I can't believe it hit single digits, man. It's got to be. It was 2019 and 2020. It went all the way down to like 7 to 8. 7. It looks like about 7 is the all-time low, I think. And I'm surprised by that, to be honest with you. I'm really surprised it's not higher than that. You guys don't understand how dominant Ethereum was when it came out. You guys have no idea how dominant it was. Or it was like it started at like, the first little bit of a rip of a run. It got up to like 25% of Bitcoin or something crazy like that. It went to a really high number, really, really high number. And then it came back down pretty significantly. And it was the only thing that was really booming on the crypto markets at the time. And so to watch and see where it is now. Yeah, I remember. It was right there. I mean, like, it looked like it was going to possibly pass it at that point because there's more excitement. But here's the thing. The reason why we're not there today with Ethereum is because they done cashed out. That's why. That's why. The people at the top, they already made out the money. They've moved it to a higher professional level of clientele. And this is kind of the exact thing that the Nobel Prize winner Eugene Fama, it's direct evidence against what he's saying. He's saying that Bitcoin has no value. And the reason is because it's so unstable and that the prices fluctuate too much to give it value. And it's like, wait, what? But what you see is with things even like Ethereum is they mature. They mature over time, and they usually get to where they need to be, especially with something like Bitcoin. I believe that's what we're going to see eventually. The same way we've seen Ethereum kind of level off as it's moved to a professional institutional playing field. Bitcoin, obviously, we're not getting 10x gains from here, guys. Hello. Not going to happen in the next 10 years, or maybe we'll see. Okay. It's just a different environment right now than a lot of people expected us to be in. Ethereum packed too much punch in the beginning. It got right up close to Bitcoin and then it got swatted down. It'll never get close again. And to watch it's kind of run against Bitcoin up and down, it's been fascinating. And I'm really like kind of glad with where it looks like it's going to end up at. With it's going to be an institutional coin, and the corporations and enterprise and institutions are going to use it, and there's going to be the look. Ethereum is where the DeFi summer kicked off DeFi. Okay, with degens, create degens. Okay, now the XRPL and Ethereum have become they've gone the next level. Now they are the Uniswaps and the 1inch and the balancers and the curves and the compounds for institutions. That's what those have become now. And so you got to get ahead of that narrative and realize that's where those are, and they're going to be more stable prices over time. So we actually moved altcoin spotlight to the end. Is that on the rundown today? Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay. So we'll get to that here in just a little bit, but this is our Zen Ledger signals and setups time. Man, that tastes like Zen. Doing your taxes is much better than not doing them and trying to cover it up with crimes.
You took the fake sip, but you forgot to do the fake swallow.
We had a coffee snafu today. That's so backwards. ETH is people's money. I run a node from home. You can't do that crap. VC chains. Look, you can. You run a node for it, so you probably believe a little more than other people in it. But the DeFi angle is there for sure with Ethereum, for sure. It's there. Outside of that, it just doesn't have a lot to offer retail. I'm sorry. How much would Ono go up knowing they have a thing on February 6th? Also, think it gets listed on yes, it will get listed on Binance. I can't see any way that it won't. I definitely believe it will be listed on Binance. And when it comes to Ondo, February 6th, is that the date of
That's the date of the event.
The day of the event? Yeah, I think it's probably going to go up, but I would watch it for it may start to go down into the actual event itself. I mean, that's usually what we see. So, okay. You guys check out zenledger.io, by the way, if you need your crypto taxes done. And basically that means if you're a person in the United States and you've touched crypto and done things with it, you need to have your crypto taxes done. And they'll do the whole thing for you. You can use the code BitBoy10. That's BitBoy10 in order to get a 10% discount. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. All right. Where's the signals and setups? Here it is. Okay, I see. I see what I did there. It's my fault. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to take a look at some of these charts. We're going to go start with Bitcoin here, and we're going to take a look. Our trader elves say we've bounced off the 100 EMA, which is a great spot to bounce if you have to dump. Breaking this would usually fall to the 200 EMA, which is all the way down at $83,000. That does seem unlikely, given that 89 to 91K provides massive support. So basically, here's what we're saying with the chart. And I mean, you can look at the wick on this thing, and you can definitely see the last time we had a capitulation, it's almost the exact same kind of candle. You can see marked right here. I don't have those EMAs pulled up to show you right now, or I would. That's something I'm going to try to get a little better at. But the point is that this is a higher low. We have capitulated higher low. However, this seems to be a little more significant of an issue to people because of the geopolitical implications more so than, oh no, China may have better AI than us or more cost-efficient AI, which caused, I think, the one up here. And then what was the one that was back on the 13th, like 2.5 months ago? What was that one? Do you know?
The cause of it? Just a liquidation.
It went all the way down to 89.
Right.
Do you remember
I
what?
think it was just a liquidation event, right?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't remember there being a news catalyst.
It just
from
happened out of nowhere, I think, kind of. And that's something that we've seen. And we're going to continue to see that in the world of crypto. It's something that always happens. But what we're looking at is Bitcoin going to go below a point of control and stay below it? Right now, it's showing the point of control at 94,000. And every time it gets to the point of control, it goes back up above it and has stayed up above it for this, for a pretty significant amount of time. The fear and greed index is something that I would like to look at some point. I'm not going to have it pulled up right now, but I definitely think that the fear and greed index. You know what? Let's pull it up. Actually, I'm going to say this. Let's pull it up. I want to see the fear and greed index. Leave. Okay. Here we go. Where are we at? Like 52, 44. Okay, I was close. Look at this. 44. Yesterday we were at 60. Now we're at 44. That's because the dump occurred. We went all the way down to 44. This is a good thing. If you look at the historical values chart, that they don't display it here very good. I don't feel like. Maybe it's okay. You'll just notice anyways, it follows along with the price basically. You see the spikes up here in 2020. You see the dumps down here as we, got ready to propel ourselves upwards in the first part of this bull run. Now we have seen these price points. And what's interesting is you see these gigantic wicks here that we've recently had. And excuse me, this is kind of exactly what I'm talking about. I can't zoom in on this. I wish I could show what I wanted. Yes, maybe I can. Let's go to the 1 year. Yeah, this is going to show it. What's really interesting is if you go back and you look at these two, this is such a beautiful, can they see it?
The chart?
Can they see all the way to the end?
Let me move it.
Yeah, please do. Because this is very important. What you have to realize is all of these things work together with the market to get the situation we're in. There is a balancing act to economics and market making. What do you think market makers are? They're people that manipulate markets. They move markets. They provide services where they do things so there's liquidity for traders. That's all fake, right? Someone's like, I've got to pull money. Let's do this, guys. It's not natural. It's artificial, okay? You have to remember that at all times, kind of like trying to solve the blockchain trilemma. If you solve this area of it, if you solve scalability, then man, you really struggle with security. If you struggle with speed, then you probably have security, locked down. That's why you're slow or whatever it is. There's always a give and take between these issues. It seems to be no perfect solution, and keeping markets in balance is no different. And when you look at the last two spikes, you go back to the one in the middle of January, okay, that was such a big price spike, okay? And then you step forward to this one and notice the price is higher than it was with the dip in January. But the fear is more on this one. There's more fear in this one. And this drives the point home. There's different kinds of price drops. There's different kinds of fears. There's ones that stroke certain types of emotions and plans. And when you look at this latest one, being geopolitical, having to start to do with feeling some of the effects of the worldwide kind of crazy situation that we've been in with de-dollarization and BRICS and AI and China and all of this, okay, and Russia and Vladimir Putin, Ukraine war, all of this. That's why it feels like the COVID drop this one. And the COVID drop, I think, went down to 25. I don't know what the fear and greed index went down. I mean, we can actually look at it. We can go up here and actually look very quickly. That's why I didn't want to look at this, because I was going to get stuck on it. I knew it. You go to COVID crash, you go to March of 2020, and it went all the way down.
Oh my God.
And down to 8.
An 8?
Yeah. And then after FTX, it went down even lower.
7
think.
or 5.
A 6.
Wow.
That's funny. But you can see the baseline is like about 30 for what's a bad. Anything below 30 and above 10 is a bad crash. Anything below 10 is like, oh my God, crypto's ending. These are all marks of the ends of, or the beginning of bear markets and crashes. Well, technically, they usually mark the beginning of what some would call the bull run, right? If you just broke it into bull run and bear market all the time, right? The bottom of the market is actually when prices go up. That's the bull market, but it feels bearish because you've been at much higher prices before. So anyways, look, certainly, I think when you look back at this fear and greed index, you can see the bull runs. Sorry. You can see the bull runs. And right now, I think certainly what we've done is we've kind of matched and mimicked the pre-halving. And now it's time to get going with the real bull run. And I don't know if it's going to happen today or tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to make new lows again. I don't think we're going to. But now we are in the range. We bounced hard enough. I think we're pretty safe from making a new low here in the very, very near term. So, okay. All right. So I did that instead of covering the other signals. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on to, are we doing drill bits now?
Drill bits.
All right, moving on to drill bits, guys.
Drill
Perfect
bits.
timing. What do y'all think I did? Drop it in the chat. Hey guys, welcome to Drill Bits.
Can you just take that one more take with about 20% more energy?
Well, no. I've got a thing.
There's
Here.
method behind the madness.
I have a thing here.
Gotcha.
If you guys don't mind, I probably need to drink some protein. Sounds like something that our guy would do. Huh?
Got him.
We're going to have to change that story. My name is the Bit Commander, and I am the commander of the Bit Boy Boot Camp. And here at Drill Bits, we take seriously teaching you crypto. And I tell you, it would be real easy for me to do this voice the entire time, but I'm afraid that I might do it too much and I might get stuck in it. So I'm going to come out of it. Okay, this is Drill Bits. This is where we talk about a theme. And guys, I want to know from you guys in the chat, what themes do you guys want us to do? I believe I actually have the next two planned out, I think. Definitely the next one, but I think I had the one after that planned out too. But I want to know, what do you guys want to know or want to see for themes? And what we're also going to be doing is we're restructuring the show just slightly, just tweaking a little bit, perfecting, fine-tuning, as we call it in the AI world. What we want to do is we want to move towards the altcoin spotlight being its own segment, and it's going to kind of always partner with the theme of the show. So we're doing all RWA altcoins this week. We are doing AI next week, so we'll be doing all AI altcoins the following 2 weeks. And then after that, I think I'm going to let next week kind of determine it, I think. But I want to know some ideas for what you guys want here in the Bit Squad. But your Bit Commander, he's got to take over teaching you guys some stuff right here. All right, guys. Today we are going to be talking about regulation and legal frameworks for RWAs. And I know what you're thinking, guys. You're thinking it could not get sexier than that. Regulation and legal frameworks are just the absolutely most sexy thing since Michael Saylor's famous yellow bikinis. I've now resigned, clear my savings to buy even more yesterday. Thanks for all the information. Whew. Man, he resigned. He said, I'm out. I'm full-time. I'm all in. I like it. It's an attitude that doesn't work out all the time. Actually, sometimes more often than not, it doesn't. But when it does, man, when you go all in and you hit it big, some of us are just built for that. Okay, guys. So here we go. Imagine that you have decided that you are going to take part in something really cool. There is a sale for tokenized fractions or fractionalized tokens on a sale of something big. That's right. Mark Zuckerberg has announced that he is now allowing, this is not real, he's now allowing people to buy a piece of Meta as it moves into Texas. So he gets everything ready. People get ready to buy it. They buy it. Okay. You buy it, you do, because you're a person, you're like, I love Mark Zuckerberg now. You buy the token, and then it moves to Texas. Well, the only thing is that Texas has different securities laws than California. And if you didn't know this, each state has its own SEC, basically. You have the SEC that operates in different jurisdictions, but or like locationally or in a localized fashion, as I've learned from my Nobel Prize research. So what happens is you realize that, oh my gosh, there are some differences in the securities laws. And now I put the money in this thing, and now the jurisdiction, the framework has messed things up. And now they're saying I lost my money, or they're saying that they can't now do what they were going to do. And that money could have been in a different investment that was growing. And now it's been stale and I can't get it out, or whatever it is. That's why. And we're moving to that world, guys. This is the world that we're moving towards. You're going to be participating in some of this stuff in the next few years, if not this year. Okay. So, and I don't talk about institutional things. I'm talking about there are some things that you're going to be getting in that are more official offerings. It's just going to be the way that your portfolio is going to be looking, especially if you stick around here. So it is important for you to know when you get involved with these situations, what could potentially happen and what kind of implications that, there might be. And one thing you guys may not know, did you guys know that these tokenized assets actually have more regulation and red tape and are more secure in a sense than even Bitcoin? They're backed by promises and guarantees. Is what makes them securities. Theme, Mystery Crypto Theater 3000, critiquing YouTube influencers and videos. Oh man, actually I did some of those early on in my channel, the old channel, of course. Not Mystery Crypto Theater 3000 for other YouTube videos, but it was for, I don't remember what we were doing. I think we were just trying to turn everything into a Bitcoin show or something. I can't remember, but I actually did that. Harder than you think. That's actually a pretty hard gig. Just commenting things that are funny all the time on something. Those react videos that people do, I say, you're talented if you can do those well, because I can't, because all my reactions are just natural and real. And sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. But I can't like manufacture stuff like they can. Good job. Okay, so the current, let's look at our graphic here. Regulation and legal frameworks for RWAs. Progressive regions, you got Switzerland, Singapore, and EU, which, by the way, I do know what MiCA stands for, which is their tokenized digital asset regulation over there. Okay. It is markets is the capital M. There's a lowercase I, and the I stands for in crypto assets. Markets in crypto assets. And that's just kind of like how over in Europe they say, where are the toilets? Like it's totally normal. And we're just like, please say restroom. Toilet sounds so aggressive to me, right? It's just the difference a little bit in the way that we talk, but it can be similar. But the MiCA regulation is something that Europe has done to kind of unify the European Union on how they handle digital assets and RWAs. Switzerland is a very, very, very bullish place. They have some laws and something called the Swiss DLT Act, which DLT stands for Distributed Ledger Technology Act, that allows for crypto regulation and clear frameworks for tokenized assets. So pretty cool stuff. Cardano has the Cardano Foundation is out there, I believe, and in Switzerland as well, or one of their big things is. Also, Singapore has their monetary authority and Singapore guidelines as well. Jurisdiction-specific challenges. Obviously, the United States, we're just bringing up a problem, which is fragmented regulation. We have different laws in different states, and that's been going back, for years. We've had, some people would argue wars over those things. Emerging economies. There's a lack of clarity in a lot of places, including the United States. So you think in emerging economies, they've got any idea what to do with this stuff? You've got some bold places like El Salvador making some decisions. China's got a ban on crypto trading, right? We've discussed how they get around that with the Taiwan law and Taiwan rule, which is where the Chinese citizens and Taiwanese citizens are one to China, so people can KYC with either. Global interoperability, there's still some issues there as well. Compliance requirements, I'm just walking through the graphic here. We've got AML and KYC, which are anti-money laundering and know your customer laws. So some places have them, some don't. Of course, securities laws come into play here. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about actual compliance. Like, what is it? Custody and ownership verification, privacy versus transparency. And then we've got some real world examples down here in the bottom of what this looks like. T0 is a security tokens platform, kind of related to Polymesh that I mentioned earlier. Centrifuge, we looked at last week, is a really, really good project, I think. It actually focuses on what we talk about in crypto a lot of time, which is actually tokenizing something that's off-chain and putting it on-chain. Paxos Gold, we looked at this. This is a project that, has commodities, gold. It's backed by physical gold. And then this here is kind of one thing that this is all leading to. You've got your AML on your left. You got your the graphic in the bottom right-hand corner, KYC on the right. And in the middle, you got the sweet spot here, verify customers' identity. So you can come out from the graphic here. Everybody in BitBoy Bootcamp will get access to a lot of these graphics, kind of look at them, okay? But the sweet spot here is verifying customers' identity. Why is that? Because we're always concerned about our privacy. We're concerned about will someone have certain aspects of our personal financial details or otherwise that can be hacked, or we're not in control of how secure it is. But see, the thing is this is where something called DID comes in, which is digital ID. And this is not like the government saying it's a digital ID, go here. No, this is like a framework. It's like an area of crypto. It's an area of AI and tech and identity and authentication and verification, to where you're able to get verified with your identity in a decentralized way that allows you to automatically pass something like KYC and AML requirements without ever having to send anything in. It's like an extension you would put onto your browser, in a sense, would be a good way to kind of look at it. That as long as you've got that on, everywhere you go knows who you are. And you can think of how dangerous that is if someone else gets access to it. But we can have ways to where you're the only person. And these are some of the big challenges where the money is. And you start to understand why this digital ID is such big money and such a sweet spot. Whoever figures it out completely, man, they are going to absolutely crush it. So
wasn't that what Remy was? Do you remember Remy?
Remy?
Yeah, from like what run were they?
I remember
It's
probably
like 2017, 2018. That was what they were pushing for.
Civic is the one I remember that was doing it. Civic. It was like Vinny or Langham's project. Okay. I think he was doing that as well. A lot of people were doing it, but anyways, there's a lot of projects working on it still, actually. But okay, all right. So, man, I just really don't do a good job following the cards. I got to do a better job, guys. Encourage the BitBoy. Smash the like button to encourage the BitBoy, the Bit Commander, as he teaches you things. Thank you. Tomorrow, we will be looking at integration with DeFi with RWAs. Now we're going to start to get into some of the cool stuff that probably you guys are going to want to hear and want to know about more than regulation and legal frameworks. But if you enjoy the week, look, we got to give you the boring stuff. You don't want, you like, knowing the fun stuff, the pumps on the days like today where you need to relax, you need to reset. You need to remember that the information and the education you get is very important. You sign up for the BitBoy Bootcamp mailing list. I believe we will next week signups. I think we are officially starting tomorrow. We're moving our first set of cadets into what we're calling 0 week, as they will begin their path through the BitBoy Bootcamp. And I'm telling you, it's the single greatest online education course in the world. I believe that. You're going to see. The balances education and entertainment and engagement and reinforcement and all of those things. Like, look, could somebody build a more intensive course? Sure, of course. You just make 37 hours of videos. Great. But our stuff, you're going to find it's of a different cloth. And I'm super excited to debut it for a lot of you guys. So let's move into our altcoin spotlight. And we're going to start by looking at Chainlink here. This is our altcoin spotlight coin today. And you may be saying, why is this the coin? Why are we looking at Chainlink? It's RWA. Is it RWA? I don't know. What is an RWA? It's a real world asset. I finally found what I was looking for. It's a real world asset. It's something that's tokenized. Okay, well, where does Chainlink come into that process? Well, I'm so glad you asked. And there is one thing that Chainlink is doing that I actually didn't even realize that they are that was such a big part of their business. They have a whole part of their business, more evidence of what they see what's coming with Pith. They see it. They see it. I hope you do too, guys. I hope you guys do too. I hope you guys are not sleeping on that. But make sure to smash the like button if you guys like when we go over altcoins. We show you what's going on. We can't wait to show you about what's going on with Chainlink. Let's pop up our graphic here with Chainlink. All right, Chainlink. It is the largest and most adopted Oracle network. Thank you for that. It's the backbone of DeFi and RWAs. It's a cross-chain powerhouse, not nearly as many chains as Pith. It has institutional adoption. So Chainlink is it is multi-chain, but Ethereum is its primary home. It is its primary home. That's a great looking graphic. I love the nice coin there. It looks amazing. Chainlink. Okay. So I had a really interesting conversation with one of my bots this morning as we were, planning out our altcoin spotlight for the next week. And, at first he came back and he was like, look, I want to talk to you about Chainlink. What I have it do, have a go build a report, come back, give me a report. And then we talk about it, ask some questions, and then we format the information the way we want it. And so what happens is it's just so amazing. Like even the AI, it's automatic is to call Chainlink a decentralized Oracle project. And it's not. It's an interesting nuance, it's an interesting difference. You look at Pith. Pith is a project of decentralized oracles. Chainlink is a decentralized network of oracles. You see, and tomorrow we're going to be getting into all the reasons that there is a difference, and you're going to really start to see. Today, we're just going to talk about Chainlink, but I want you guys to really understand that it's not decentralized oracles. And I know you may think that's nitpicky. It is not. And it is the key to why Pith is going to absolutely crush it. And Chainlink is a roadmap for what Pith can do, I think, in a shorter amount of time. So looking at the numbers here for Chainlink very quickly, market cap, $12 billion, fully diluted value, about 30% higher or so. Volume pretty good. Circulating supply, you look at the supply numbers, I think, isn't there a billion? Is that how many there is? Yeah, 1 billion tokens. You can see there are, about 63.8% of them are out. Like I said, somewhere around 60%. And you can look at just the kind of, quick chart here at the bottom and see it had a big run up. But the difference is it really, this back here, you can't even really see the 2018, 2019. If we were to zoom in on that, well, actually we'd have to go the other way, but let's go here. If we were to zoom in on that, you'll see that actually, was
best performing coin of the bull run.
Of the bear market.
Or that's what I meant.
Like this little shark fin right here, where this thing went from 50 cents all the way up to $3.49. I mean, back here was it 30 cents, 27 cents in July 2018. So
10x in a bear market.
10x in a bear market, and then went on to have this massive run. And it's been a significant project. You say, how to do that? Well, it did that through partnerships. It did through marketing and partnerships. It had all kinds of different, aspects of it. But it is the largest and most adopted Oracle network. It bridges blockchains and real world data. I should have said what an Oracle is. An Oracle is it's a box. Think of it as a box. And inside of that box, you have an input, which is something that's not on a blockchain. Okay. Something like the weather. I cannot take the weather and put it on a blockchain. It makes no sense. How can I do that? Like literally the weather. I can't do it. I can put different types of weather data on a blockchain, right? So that's a way that you take something that's off chain, like the weather. Don't think of the meteorologist showing you the numbers. Think of climate and the temperature and the precipitation. Think about that. The weather, you can't put that on the blockchain, but you can put the individual information, the data, and verifying the authenticity of that data is so important, and that is kind of what Chainlink assists, is that information heads to the blockchain. And there's going to be different sources where this comes from. Here's a key difference you're going to find out about Chainlink and Pyth, and I can't talk about these one without the other, is that Chainlink is a third-party aggregator. So what that means is when Chainlink is processing all this information, it would go around. This is a great way to look at this, guys. I'm just going to tell you, man, this is a phenomenal way to look at this. You really want to visualize this? You want to understand it? I'm going to show you right now, okay? Here's the difference between Chainlink and Pyth, okay? Chainlink goes to CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko to get the prices for the day. It goes to the two and it looks at them and it averages them together. And it verifies the data and it pushes it through. Okay? That's a good way to visualize. That's not a real thing, but I'm just saying this is a good way to visualize it, okay? Chainlink goes and it gets the information from CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Pyth goes to Bitcoin and to Ethereum and to XRP and gets the data. You see the difference? Chainlink goes to places that aggregate the data already. They're not going. This is why Pyth is so important, because it goes and verifies the actual price, like the actual feed, like what's reality, not the combination of data that some aggregators put together. It's important to understand the way these networks work, I think, because it really, sometimes the opportunity is in the innovation of this. And you start to understand why there could actually be a problem with Chainlink. Why is this so important? Because Pyth works with all the financial companies. Pyth works with all the DeFi. Pyth is for financial verification and transactions and oracles. It's built for speed. Okay, that's what it's built for. We call it high latency versus low latency. You think high latency, it's slow. Low latency, it's fast, I think is how that works. And that's how fast it's able to process the data that's coming in the requests, the push and pull requests, which are kind of some dev stuff.
It's always funny how like low latency means faster, but you would just trick your brain into thinking like, oh, it must be slower.
Yeah. I think about its inverse.
Right.
I know it's inverse on how you would think it would be. That's how I think about yields. Like when yields go up, it means economy go down. When yields go down, it means economy is going up. And it's inverse. And it's important to know those types of things that are inverse to each other, because when you see one, you can expect the other. Okay, so it works through oracles aggregating and verifying data. It ensures security, accuracy, and reliability. That's what the security is, what Chainlink offers that is higher than what Pyth offers, for instance.
Probably mail.
Okay, so, and that's what I was talking about with like the blockchain trilemma, the give and take, the push and pull. That's what it is. Okay, so why it matters. Chainlink still powers DeFi at this point to a certain extent, RWAs, but gaming, enterprise adoption, a lot of other things where Chainlink really is going to shine, I think, in the future. Really big institutional adoption and things like that. Okay, so it secures billions of dollars in value across multiple blockchains. It's a critical data layer for Web3 infrastructure. So we looked at the numbers already. Why it's interesting. It is the backbone of DeFi and RWAs. It's a cross-chain powerhouse. It's institutional adoption. We looked at that here a second ago on the graphic. You can put the graphic back up. People can see it again. But here's what's interesting. They've got some news here. They have they're staking V.02 launch. This is upgraded staking, and it's supposed to increase the demand for Link, which increase of demand, you pull the graphic down, means higher price, right? That's the way that works. And then here's something that I didn't know they had. And we probably talked about at some point. You know they have a partnership with Swift?
Man,
I forgot about that.
I feel like I remember that now that you bring it back up.
Yeah. So CCIP is their cross-chain transactions. They've got price feeds. And here's something that is huge. I did not understand how big it was and how You have to, now that I understand the difference between like Pith and Chainlink, how they really operate and what the true difference is and why one's better for finance and one's better for something else. The reason is because proof of reserve is something that has came up because of FTX. The exchanges have to do to say, hey, we really have the money. Chainlink, when they verify something, the security of it is very, very strong. So the proof of reserve service that Chainlink offers crypto projects, exchanges, or whatever now, that is now a huge piece of their business. And that's great that they're moving into other stuff because they're going to need to. They're going to need to when Pith takes over DeFi. So they got institutional partnerships, Swift. They've got the DTCC integrating Chainlink solutions. I don't even know what that is. Some kind of, maybe I would know, DTCC. Sounds like a Dubai agent organization, but not sure what that is. But anyways, Chainlink is scaling fast. It's not just speculation. It is real world adoption. Chainlink is a key piece of crypto infrastructure, securing billions across DeFi. With growing institutional adoption and staking upgrades, it's a top contender for long-term growth. Here is the bottom line, guys. The bottom line, you keep Chainlink on your radar, okay? But here is the more important thing as we move to final take here. Trump's new tariffs trigger a major crypto sell-off. That's fantastic. Will Trump's policies create new opportunities for crypto or just more volatility? There's something there for you guys to think about. That's not what I want to talk about, though. What I want to say is this, is I really want you guys to think about, I want to tell a story. Smash a like if you want a story. There was once a man that grew up in a time when Beanie Babies were really taking off. When he was young, he worked at McDonald's when they had the Beanie Baby toys and the Happy Meal. People would wait hours in the line to wait and come around 17 times to get their maximum amount of 5 Beanie Babies per Happy Meal or per order. And, you know, in this multiverse, it just turns out that Beanie Babies become not currencies. They don't become a currency. They actually become these things that are kind of like, imagine if you could take a picture and you could verify who owned it and it was worth a lot of money and then all of a sudden it wasn't. I don't know what you'd call those in the real world. Does anybody know? Beanie Babies became the NFTs of this world. And there was a man that wanted to build an NFT project dedicated to the planets. And so he made this NFT project and he let some other people run it. And, you know, it's amazing. After they launched their Beanie Baby project, the business partner of that person came up and said, hey, we need to do something else because this is not making us money constantly all the time. We need to move on. Okay. And I was like, no, why would we move on? Like this is our Beanie Baby project that we create together, dedicated to one of those planets out there. And the thing is like this concept, I'm the one that's different. I'm the one that's foreign. I'm the one that thinks differently. Okay. I'm the one that thinks, oh, you do things because you said you're going to do them, not just because, hey, it can continue to make you money, but because you dedicated yourself to doing something. That's not how the world works. That's not how people operate. I'm foreign on that. The fact is that as soon as we sold those Beanie Babies, most people, you included, I'm looking at you included, would be like, all right, let's sell the next Beanie Babies. No, you gotta take care of the Beanie Babies you just launched. So you gotta take care of the Beanie Babies. And why am I telling you all this? The reason I'm telling you all this, okay, is because when you start to understand, if you're someone that's like me and you're different, or you're someone who, you understand the money thing, but you just don't understand the crypto thing fully yet or whatever, you have to understand that this mindset of let's cash grab and move to the next thing is the way that the world operates, okay? All the things you get mad about, the businesses doing stuff, is because of this, okay? Think about it. Well, you get mad because they don't have They got stuff locked up at Target, or you get mad because they do this advertising here, or they do this with, what's the thing called? Go woke, go broke, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But the thing is that companies want to make money and move on to the next thing. That's just the way that it works. You have to apply this principle in crypto. Okay. XRP is kind of, it hasn't reached its potential yet because its goals are so big and they're obtainable because they created the partnerships. We start moving outside of XRP and you start going down the list of projects with their promises and whatever, you start to understand, and this is something I really want to start talking about a lot, is there is something called a crypto lifespan. I believe it's a crypto lifespan. It's a full cycle that a crypto project goes to. And when it gets to the end of it, old Eugene Fama likes it. It's stable. It's stable. Why is it stable? Because people aren't really trading it anymore for one reason or the other. Either it's gone to zero and nobody cares, or either it actually has become like institutional, stable, corporate, enterprise, whatever. Okay. So at the end of an altcoin's life, and when it gets to the end of a crypto cycle, you will see, I believe, stabling off and leveling off of the volatility of these. And we haven't seen a lot of crypto projects get to these points. I don't think we've seen any really yet get to it, but we're going to. We see many go the dead route. We see many go zero and stable off because nobody trades them because they're dead, right? We see that. But we haven't yet really moved into where we're going to see stability in the markets of prices and things for some of these assets. You have to apply this idea of all the projects, the people that run them, they're all thinking the same thing. They're all thinking, let's milk these teats for as much milk as we can get in the bucket, and then let's move in another cow and we'll give this cow to somebody else. They're all thinking that. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Even Brad Garlinghouse. Even he's thinking that. You know why? Somebody could buy him out, right? There's always a bigger fish that could offer you money and you would leave. There's always, almost always, except for people like me. They're just weird. We just build different. Stuff doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, I like wearing some Burberry's and Gucci. Yeah, but if I don't, it's not a big deal. I'm wearing the cheapest hoodie from Amazon they sell. Okay. Or a bunch of black ones, so I'd have them. When you start to look around the crypto space, what projects do you look at and you say, this thing's at the end of its life cycle? They sucked as much money out of it as they could, and the smart people have moved on. Which projects do you look at and you say that? It's not Cardano. Cardano is one you might think I'm going to say because I talk bad about Cardano all the time. Yeah. That's going to be the top of the market. Top of the market. People are out on Cardano. They're not going to come back in. I think we'll see. Polkadot, dead. Crypto.com, I thought it was on the way out. Resurgence, it's on the way back up. So it doesn't always mean these things are a dissonance, but when you look at crypto projects to invest in, you need to be thinking about, where is this in a crypto life cycle? Is this on its way down? Has it reached its final form? Is it going to such a place of a stability that maybe it's not worth investing in because it can't get X's out of it because the market cap's so big? That's going to happen to all the successful crypto projects at some time. Okay. So remember to look for the opportunities by judging the crypto life cycle and where you think it is. As an assignment we'll do in the Big Boy Bootcamp, we'll have our recruits, maybe our cadets, we'll see how far they get. Maybe draw, use some kind of program, I don't know what it would be, to show what a crypto life cycle would look like for a project. Just remember, we haven't seen any to their full form yet. We haven't seen Bitcoin to its full form yet. We haven't seen anything to its full form yet. We're still just at the beginning of this. There will be a time when the innovation it's like websites, like the internet's been the internet for a long time. They changed the bells and whistles, but it's been the internet, the way it kind of operates and the way we all use it, Google and all that stuff, for a long time, right? And I think we're going to see crypto kind of become like that too. Do I think a lot of people are overlooking XCN and SwiftC? Is SwiftC a crypto project, or are you talking about its relation to XRP? I'm not 100% sure. So, okay. Well, I guess that is the final take I want to give you guys. It's sometimes I have some thoughts that just come to me while I'm watching the show that I feel like are really, really good, strong things. And that was something I was talking about that. And I was thinking about just reflecting on my own personal business and things that have happened and just all of the crazy things that were going on that I didn't know about. And I'm just like, man, and that's why I have to talk to you, the person I'm watching. Like, I feel like it's over 50% that will just do anything for money. I think it's over 50%. So it's probably you. I hope it's not. But I would really encourage, if it is you, that's something that'll kill you. That's something that'll send you to prison one day, maybe if you have the right opportunity. That's something that will squeeze the life out of you. Living for money is not the way to live. And if you sign up for the BitBoy Bootcamp, you take the BitBoy Bootcamp, you do the things that we're going to teach you to do, you'll be at a place where you're like me. And like, it doesn't matter if somebody steals your entire company and net worth overnight. You can just make more money right afterwards because you know how to do it. You know how to be successful. That's what we're going to teach you how to do. Be blessed. BitBoy out.